Hey, what's up, Brew Crew? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Pathways game system. So, Pathways is a little bit different from the typical board game that we talk about on this channel. This is more of a game system that gives you several different game variants that you can play with the same components. Let's start off by talking a little bit about how each of the variants play, and then we'll come back up for my review. So, like I said, this game is a little bit different as there are several different variants that you can play with this system. So in this overview, we're mainly going to be covering how the different variants play. I won't go into too much detail for each variant, but this should at least give you a pretty good idea of how the different variants play. So first up is the basic variant, in which players are going to just be taking turns flicking their 12 discs and attempting to get their disc to settle in the last row on the opposite side of the board. At the end of the game, whoever has the most discs in the opposite side of the board is the winner. You have to flick your discs from behind the black launch line on your side of the board, and your finger can't be touching the disc after it crosses the line. Discs are not allowed to settle in the first space, the first row on your side of the board, so any that are removed from the game. And any disc also that ends up on either your side or the opponent's side beyond the launch line is also removed. As discs settle into holes on the board, they will create pathways that will make it easier for your disc to get across to the opposite side. There are also rules for match play, where players will score points based on who has the most discs in the last row and is played to 11 points, or really whatever point value the players happen to agree on. The other variant that can be played on the bamboo board is called double row scoring. If we flip the board over, we can see that there are numbers printed next to the last and next to last rows. For each disc that a player lands in one of these rows, they will score the corresponding number of points. So 2 if you get it in the last row, and 1 point if you get it in the next to last row. All right, next we're going to be looking at the different games that can be played using the playmat. Okay, first up on the playmat is the game called Dead Center. This variant is simple enough. Players will take turns flicking discs and trying to land closest to the center space on the playmat. They'll be flicking their discs from behind the white line on their edge of the playmat, and whoever lands closest to that center space will score a point for each disc that they have that is closest. Then there is moving target. This game is similar to Dead Center, but rather than shooting at a stationary spot on the map, players will be trying to land their disc closest to the white disc that has been placed on the map. So as the game goes on and players hit the white disc, the target will likely move. If you ever played the lawn game Bocce Ball, you'll see a similarity here. Scoring for this variant works the same as the Dead Center variant. Both Dead Center and Moving Target also have a Break the Ice variant as well, in which the target, either the space or the disc, is surrounded by neutral discs. We have not played with these variants because we did not get the extra discs in our Kickstarter pledge, but I imagine they just add a little bit more difficulty when it comes to actually getting to that center space. And the final variant we'll talk about today is Skirmish. This mode has players both trying to protect white discs on their side of the center space. Players will take one of their discs off the board and flick it from their side of the mat, trying to knock their opponent's white disc over the white line. The object is to get the white disc across the white line. However, any disc that gets knocked over the white line is removed from play as well. Okay, those are the different ways that you can play Pathways. Let's head back up and I'll let you know what I think. So if this was a board game, I'd probably be a little bit annoyed by the number of variants included in this game, but with a flicking style dexterity game, I actually appreciate it. Depending on whether you're playing one of the variants on the bamboo board or the playmat, you'll be trying to accomplish something similar, but with a bit of a twist that changes the game up a bit. So odds are this game won't get stale, at least not for a long time. I do wish that the rulebook had been proofread a little bit better. There are a couple of typos which make it a little confusing in the main rulebook. I also would have liked to have seen some more examples and explanation for how to score the different variants, especially for those played on the playmat. But neither of these are game killers though. The answers are easily found. Still, it would have been nice if it was made a little bit more clear in the rulebook. One more slight negative is that the box lid actually split on the corner on just my second time handling it. And this was just the lid with no added weight involved. Luckily, you don't use the box to play the game, so again, not a major deal. The components of the game otherwise are very good. The board is nice and light, so it doesn't make the box weigh a ton. I like the fact that they went with a highly sustainable material like bamboo for the board as well. The discs work really well, and it honestly kind of surprised me how little you need to flick them to get them across the board. They also come in some very nice, almost burlap-looking bags. The little plungers are a nice touch too if you ever need to remove a disc from play for any reason. It also comes with a score tracker, but just be careful with that score tracker because on some of these it looks like the wheels are a little bit loose, so it's easy to bump them and change the score accidentally. The gameplay for this system is almost addicting. When we sit down to play, we end up playing several games back to back to back. That goes for whichever variant we happen to be playing. It's the type of game where you want to keep playing it so that you can improve your skill and make better, more strategic shots. You can also play defensively, trying to make it difficult for your opponent to get a clean shot at their target or hitting it with one of your discs to knock it out of the way. As far as the different variants go, I think my favorites are the double row scoring variant on the bamboo board and the moving target variant on the playmat, which, like I said in the overview, plays a little bit like the long game bocce ball. So overall, I give Pathways a BGG score of 7. Our family likes a lot of dexterity games, and I think you will enjoy this game if you like games like Clask or Crokinole. So if you like any of those types of games, you'll probably like Pathways as well. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, let's get another round for the table. Hey everybody, don't forget to like and comment on this video. If you found value in this video at all, it would mean a lot to us if you consider subscribing to the channel as well. Don't forget to click the notification button so you'll know when we put out a new video. Cheers!